I just got a book package I'm so excited about. It is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have seen so many good things about this book. Everybody I know who's read it has given it 5 stars, and I'm very excited. I don't know too much about it. All I've heard is that it's kind of Hunger Games-esque, and it's kind of enemies to lovers. The reason I'm reading it, other than just wanting to read it, is me, my stepmom, my stepsisters, and my stepsister-in-law are doing a little girlies reading club, and I was able to pick the first book, so I kind of recommended this one, and so we're all gonna read it together. So my stepmom just sent it to me. This is such a pretty cover. First of all, I am obsessed, and then if you take off the cover, even that is just gorgeous. I love it so much. I think this is my first hardback cover I own.
It's officially time to start my first ever book club book. I read the first 2 chapters, and obviously not much happens, but it seems like it's already kind of enticing me. Oh my gosh, the smell of a new book. Wow, love that. And it's so pretty. I just want to read it because it's so pretty looking. It has honestly been a long day, so I'm excited to be outside, freshly showered, fresh hair wash, powerless, ready to get into it, water, and my fun drink of choice, a Pepsi Zero. So let's see if I can really get into this book and start enjoying it and the world and the characters. I'm in bed reading, but I wanted to give a little update. I'm on chapter 4, page 25, and so far I am liking the book. There's not too much to say, but it's decently easy to follow along with. I'm a little confused about a few things, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And now I'm kind of getting the gist of what it's about. No spoilers, but I mean, I'm only on page 25, so I don't even know spoilers myself, but it's basically like Hunger Games, but with powers. It's not quite the exact same Hunger Games vibe, but it's like there's an arena, there's like the elites and like the normal people, but there's like magic, so it's like a fantasy version of that. So it seems exciting, and right now I've gotten 2 different point of views. The first chapter was in one point of view, the second in another, and then the third and fourth are in the same point of view as the first one. So that's kind of fun to do, like a dual point of view. I don't know if there's going to be any other point of views, but so far I'm liking it. This morning I was able to get a good amount of pages in. I'm on page 74. Okay, I'm on page 124, and I feel like things are really starting to pick up. They're kind of at the beginning of the trials. I'm so nervous for what is about to happen. But my overall non-spoiler kind of review so far is I'm really liking it. I'm really struggling not to just tie this to Hunger Games because there are so many like similarities, but there's also so many differences, so it's not exactly the same. But I am liking it. I like the tension between the 2 main characters. I don't even know what the main character's name is. I think it's Payden. I'm really bad with pronunciations, but I like her personality, the way that she approaches things. She seems very resilient and smart and witty. I love how witty she is, and she's been through it, and I'm very excited to see what happens because of her position in this world, and I'm nervous. And then I love the royalty aspect and how like the princes are interacting with her and with other people. I think it's just so fun. I like it. So far, I'm really liking it. It's starting to get to the point where I probably won't be able to put it down. It's picking up, so I'm very excited. The one thing is that I feel like there's a lot of predictability. A lot of the times she says something, and before she says it, I'm like, I bet she'll say something like this, and then she does. So that hasn't happened with me in a book before, so I'm worried that that's gonna kind of ruin it for me. But either way, I'm really liking it, so let's just keep reading. I'm on chapter 20. I love it. Okay, even though a lot of it is predictable, like I literally keep word for word almost saying what the characters are gonna say, I'm still loving it. Like, I just love throwing myself into the characters, and whether it's predictable or not, I still will always have an enjoyable time. There's so many good like friendships, the romance is cute. Yeah, sometimes it's a little cheesy, but like it's romance. I will say I didn't realize that this book is like romance with a splash of fantasy. At least so far. It's like very little compared to what I'm used to reading as far as world building and fantasy and all that goes. It's heavy romance. This would not be a book without the romance. I'm enjoying it. I like it. Chapter 20. Going good. I'm that far into the book, not even halfway yet, so I'll check in when I'm about halfway. I am almost halfway. I'm on page 236 and I actually started annotating. I realized since it's a book club book and I was really enjoying it, I've never annotated a book before and I wanted to give it a go. But this book is so long, I don't know if I'm annotating too much because I'm like already out of my like go-to tabs, and I decided to just annotate based on like characters and then like the lore. So maybe that was not the best way of doing it, but it looks so cool. It's exciting. Anyways, I am absolutely loving this. I don't even care if it's a little bit cheesy. I think there's been enough plot twists, enough new things that's not Hunger Games that I'm not associating it with Hunger Games anymore, so that's good. But I am loving it. A lot of the action is starting to pick up now, and it's at the point where I genuinely can't put it down. I just want to finish it, and I've been reading it like all day today, so very exciting. I have a couple predictions for how I think it might end, but I have a feeling I'm just gonna be wrong about that. I definitely think it's interesting, the romance and the politics and how they're kind of fitting together. Definitely makes for an interesting story, and I can't wait to see how it ends, so let's keep reading. I can't use words right now. Oh my gosh. Screaming, crying, throwing up is all I have to say. I'm on page 420. I had to close it because I knew I needed to get the camera for this moment. I can't breathe. I'm like, heart is racing. It's too cute. It's just too cute. I wish I was recording myself for the last 100 pages, but I stayed up really late in bed reading, so I wasn't really recording. And my reactions were literally jaw on the floor, crying, screaming, throwing up, laughing, kicking my feet, giggling, like every emotion was moded, okay? The banter in this book should not be called Powerless. It should be called Full Banterness. I don't know, that was stupid, but you get the point. Like, the banter is bantering, the vibes are vibing, the love is loving, the romance is romancing, the drama is dramaing, like everything is giving right now. Everything is giving what it's supposed to give. I think that's all I can say without accidentally spoiling it in the non-spoiler section of this video, so just watch me read it. I don't know if I can handle reading another chapter. It's like too good. My nerves, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling. Oh my gosh. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. All right, I'm entering into the third trial, which is the final trial. There's less than 100 pages left, so I know something crazy is gonna happen. I'm afraid I'm gonna cry, scream, or throw up. be simple. It has to be I knew it. I knew there'd be something, some twist. And obviously I know where this is heading, so I'm already annoyed. I'm already annoyed. I finished it. I am distraught. I don't know how to feel. There's like one chapter that is about the next book, which is going to be called Reckless, and I think it comes out in like May, June, or July. It's sometime in the summer, and it could not come faster. Are you kidding me? I'm left on that cliffhanger. If you read the book, you know, but oh my gosh. I literally was reading every little thing I could. I just wanted to keep going. And I'm so upset at the ending. Like, the ending was so good, but I'm so upset. This book brought out so many emotions in me, and when there's a book that you can just throw your whole mind into and it makes you actually feel emotions, that's a good book. That's good writing. I literally felt like I was watching a movie while reading this because it was just so easy to like fall into the world. That being said, let's dive into my full review of Powerless. I'm gonna put the dust sleeve back on so we have the pretty cover. Powerless review. So for starters, this was my very first book club book, which my book club is next week. This was also my first book that I've ever annotated because it was that good. I just wanted to remember so many quotes. My rating. I've been thinking about this since last night, and I'm going between a 4 and a 5. I'm like, should I give it a 4.5 or should I just give it that 5-star? Because, okay, so first, here are my complaints on why it won't be a 5-star, which the complaints take with a grain of salt because obviously I love it so much that I'm thinking about giving it a 5-star. Complaint number 1 is that it didn't build the world too much. Now, this could be a pro or con depending on what you like to read. It really jumped into the story right away, which is good because it hooks you, but I kind of wish we knew more lore, more about the world, and I'm kind of hoping we get that with book 2. I wish I knew a little bit more about how the plague came to be, the scorches, the other towns. I kind of wish we knew more about all of that. This is like 90% romance, 10% fantasy, and I wasn't expecting that, but now that I know that, I really did enjoy it. Now, my other complaint is that every trope that could possibly be in one book is in this book. It has the who hurt you, it's like rivals to lovers, it's forbidden love, it's you could die vibes. Like, I don't know, I feel like there were so many tropes, which was actually really fun to read because it keeps you engaged the whole time. It's also her having to pick between 2 love interests, kind of not. I don't know, it's kind of weird and vague about that. Now that I think about it more, I think I like all of that. Are they really complaints? I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it the 5 stars. I might change my mind because I really like to give 5 stars to books that I cannot stop thinking about, but I really, really enjoyed this book. So it might be a 5-star. If not, it's a 4.5, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say 5 stars. So without giving any spoilers, we have 3 main characters, Peyton, Kai, and Kit. And then there's a few side characters that we really love, like Adina, Jax, Andy. There's also side characters that we don't like. Won't get into all of that. But I did enjoy the characters that we got a lot from, which is really just Peyton and Kai. I wish we had more Kit. I tried to bookmark pretty much all the parts about Kit that I could. I wish we knew more about him. He kind of just seems like a character that was written in just to like fill a space, and it wasn't really till the end that we're getting a lot more of who he is, his point of view, how he views the world. Like, it's sprinkled in, but I wish we had more of him. So I'm hoping in book 2 we get more. But Peyton and Kai, we get so much of. I absolutely love both of them. I love their personalities. I feel like they were really well-formed characters. We got a lot about their lore, the way that they think, the way that they act, why they are the way that they are. I really enjoyed that. This also has some girly bestie friendship, found family vibes in it. It's kind of more of a side plot, but I always love that plot, so I really enjoyed that. The end of the book, absolutely broke my heart, but I wasn't crying. I think just because I wasn't quite in that mood. I broke it up with my reading too much, but I did thoroughly enjoy the end. It got into the story really fast. Like I said, there's so many good tropes in here. The trials made it really fun and add that like fantasy, adventure, action-packed vibe to it as well, so it wasn't just romance. And then there's the complex relationship with the two princes and the king, which I really enjoyed that we got to kind of explore that a little bit. I feel like in some of the other fantasy books you don't really explore the king-prince relationship too much, so I really enjoyed that. I forgot to mention the most important aspect of the book, the slow burn. I am a slow burn girl. There is nothing that excites me more about a book than a very, 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 very slow burn. So that's kind of my review. 5 stars. I think everybody should give this a read if you enjoy romance and a little bit of fantasy. Now, that is it for the non-spoiler section. I am about to pour out my heart in the spoiler section, so go read the book and then come back and watch the spoiler section, or if you've already read it, here we go. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, my first spoiler check-in is on page 125, which is when they're doing the interviews and Peyton just was like getting the crowd going, making them laugh. I like it, but it's also, I'm very much expecting what she's gonna say. Like when she didn't end with the, I want to honor my kingdom, myself. I was like, okay, I'm not surprised she didn't say that, but I don't know what she's gonna do as far as like her power, since she doesn't actually have a power. I think I might be more stressed out than she is about the fact that she doesn't have a power. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, well, she could just say it's not gonna work right now. What if there's someone who does have a psychic ability, like an actual one, and they're like, that's not how that works. That's what I'm really nervous about, but I have a feeling that that doesn't become a thing. But I'm so scared. I don't know what's gonna happen right now. Okay, I'm on chapter 20. Next check-in. I will say I am so excited they're bringing Adina back to the castle, and I kind of feel Peyton because she like forgot about Adina and she feels so bad that she forgot, and I feel like she's just being a little hard on herself because she was just thrown into the kingdom. She didn't even know that that was an option to bring her in, and I feel like she's being a little too hard on herself. But she goes back to get Adina. She's bringing her back to be her seamstress, and Adina is so excited about it. I love it. I love girl friendships and books, and it just makes me so happy. They're more like sisters, found family vibes between them two, and I love that Adina is more like me. She's like, oh my gosh, we're going to the castle, and she's like, who's taking you to the ball? And then Peyton's like, oh, you know, just Kit, the heir to the king's throne. And Peyton's like, yeah, it's not really a big deal. And then Adina's like, what do you mean? What do you mean the future king's taking you to the ball? Like, we're gonna get you the most perfect dress. And then also Peyton's like, no big deal. Kai's basically flirting with me 24/7, and I don't really care for it. Like, she's not really boy crazy. She's just vibing. Adina's like, what do you mean? Tell me everything. I'm Adina. Okay, I can't really relate to Peyton. Peyton is like not really caring so much. She just wants to get in, get out of there, get the trials over with. Obviously, she doesn't have powers, so I understand wanting to like just get through this. But like, she could totally take advantage of the fact that Kai is like clearly in love with her. I cannot help but like every time she shows off her psychic abilities, it reminds me of the show Psych. And if you watched that show growing up, you know that that's exactly what the main character in that show does. He's a psychic who works for the police department, and he's just really observant. And so she's doing that, and I love that because that's like a childhood show for me. And then Hunger Games is like a childhood movie for me. So kind of putting them together, I'm kind of eating it up, adding in romance, love it. But I don't know how she can guess every time, like, the things that she points out, and she's like, oh yeah, he clearly got engaged today, or this like, what do you mean? How are you just... I could never be that observant. Could not be me. But love that for her. I don't think I mentioned this, but I can't believe she literally held the knife to Kai's neck and like cut his neck. Like, why is that not a big deal? Why is she not in trouble for like hurting the prince on purpose? It kind of gives that the kingdom, while there are formalities maybe with the king and queen, even just compared to other books I've read, it seems way less formal. Like, the king and queen are there and they're respectful and everything, but it seems like people are talking casually with the king and queen. I mean, she's making fun of the prince in front of the king, all that kind of stuff. And then the king is the one who killed Peyton's father, and the king just is acting like he knows nothing about that. He's like, oh yeah, I knew your father, but wasn't she there watching him die? So the king's not like, oh, I killed that guy and you're his daughter, so you were there, so you know I killed. Like, it's kind of a weird, feels a little like a plot hole, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm halfway and they're in the trials right now, and I'm at the part where Kai fixed up Peyton and now the wolves are right in front of them. I literally just put my bookmark in. There's like wolves right in front of them, and oh my gosh, I am eating this up. First of all, the whole like rebellion, learning about the rebellion. They tried to like bomb the ballroom or whatever, and we don't actually know what kind of went down there or why it went down, and she's still hiding being an ordinary, and she's heard like the actual personal opinion of Kit and Kai and how they both feel about how their kingdom is run, which is very interesting. And I feel like Kai is getting a little bit deeper. Obviously they're opening up to each other a little bit more. He just saved her life. They made a pact to be partners, and the tension is so cute, and they're being a little bit more like vulnerable, like she said, in the trials, and they're in the forest, which kind of brings out the honesty in them, knowing that you could die tomorrow. And so they're saying a lot of like honest things and almost admitting that they like each other but also not admitting it, and I am just eating it up. I did start annotating, so let me pull up some good quotes. I thought it was so cute when Kai said, "I don't want Kit's role in life because I refuse to give him mine." What a good brother. And then the part where they're like, she's just laughing and then he joins her laughing. Some of the quotes from the part where he was like healing her literally had me giggling, laughing, everything. Of course, we got the classic, "I'm gonna ask again, who did this to you?" Ugh, that line will always win in my heart. I don't care how cheesy it is. This is the part that literally killed me. So he finally uses her name. He's like, "Pay, stay with me." And then she says, "You've never called me that before." I'm smiling at him now, grinning like an idiot. I can't stop. But in this moment, I don't want to die, if only so I can hear him say my name one more time. And then, "Remind me to make you smile like that again when you aren't dying and I have all the time in the world to memorize it." Stop. That got me, okay? It's getting me. I love it. Oh, okay. Major check-in. Page 420. There's so much that just happened. Peyton won the second trial. Kai let her win the second trial. Basically made her win the second trial. Kai killed the person who tried to kill Peyton and Jax. And then like the king told her she needs to chill and leave the boys alone. The king told Kai that she's not supposed to win. And there are just so many things that happened, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is her going into Kai's bedroom and staying the night. I was shaking, crying, kicking my feet, giggling, screaming, throwing up, you name it. Every single word of that chapter had me giggling. Oh, gasping. Oh my gosh. So basically Kai had his nightmare that Peyton had like died or whatever, and Peyton heard him screaming. So she like got on top of him and was like, wake up, Kai, wake up. He was like gonna kill her in his sleep because he was like awake but asleep, and just like naturally he's trying to fight off whoever is fighting him or whatever. And she's like, Kai. And then he's like, oh my gosh, she said my name. That's like a huge thing in the book, is like when they actually say each other's names. It's like the best moment of their entire lives. So then he wakes up, he's good to go, and she's about to leave, and he says, stay. Time stills, breathing ceases. It's astounding how severely a single word can affect someone. Please. My heart trips over itself at the sound of the word from his lips. Few have the power to make me plead. Stop. Everybody shut up. I can't. The prince begging her to stay. Yes, please. So then she like battles with herself. Should she stay? Should she not? Then she does. She stays. And she's like battling like, I want him closer, but I also don't. And then they're cuddling, whatever. He pulls her in and she's like, are you gonna sleep? And he says, oh, darling, I'm already dreaming. Oh my gosh, goodbye. He goes to get her breakfast. And then, okay, so then Peyton's like, are you unable to help being a shameless flirt as well? And he says, clearly not when I'm with you. Oh, and what else are you when you're around me? She has me swallowing, has me nervous. I'm a fool. The smile she gives me is equally amused and alluring. Only when you're around me, only for you. Oh my gosh, this chapter. I can't. I want to reread it 1,000 times. So basically there's a whole thing about like her left foot gives her away about lying. Are you admitting to me making you flush, making you nervous? Making me annoyed, she supplies, because you certainly are doing that. I look away, shaking my head. Liar. Was it my left foot that gave me away, or did you come to that conclusion on your own? I step even closer, she leans in. I can't take my eyes off you long enough to give a damn about what your foot is doing. So yes, I came to that conclusion on my own. I'm sorry. Everything in this book is like cringe but hitting at the same time. Like, is this something I want in real life? No. Is this something I want in a book? Absolutely yes. Eating it up, screaming, crying. Also, excuse my language, but I had to read the quote. It's a quote, so it's fine. It's a quote, okay? Anyway, so it just goes on and on. Like, the banter is bantering. I literally cannot handle it. Then right now they're at the ball. So she just went outside of the ball. It's raining, and he's like covering her with his coat. And she's like, you know, I'm already wet. Why are you trying to hold the thing over my head? You're being a gentleman. She also said his full name, Malachi, and she's like, what should I call you? And he's like, whatever you want. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm at the part right now. Yes, well, he sighs and ducks his head, so we're eye to eye. As adorable as you look, blinking up at me from the rain, I want you to see me clearly when I tell you this. There goes that stupid flutter in my chest. That's literally where I am right now, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous but excited. I literally kicked my feet, ran upstairs, and got my camera. Okay, sorry for this long jump in, but I'm just freaking out. Yeah, so I just finished reading that chapter, and they had their first kiss. That was the best first kiss scene I've ever read. That was amazing. Yeah, I will never recover. Thank you. There were so many things that happened in the last 100 pages I wish I recorded more of, like all the little, like he said after he kissed her, you promised I could touch you when I was sober, but I'm never sober around you. Paid, never not drunk on every detail that is you. So I forgot to talk about the part where like he was all drunk and she was like, you can touch me when you're sober. And then right when he woke up for the trials, he looked down on his hand and he had written, when I'm sober, she said I could touch her. That was so cute. Everything's so cute. I literally now I have to read Kai's perspective and I might not survive. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. Their kiss got interrupted. The king needs to see him. The king. I don't care about the king. Just kill him already. Let Kit be the king. He's gonna be a great king. He's gonna change everything, save everyone. Really, the last trial. But that's not all. Not only do you have to be the first thing enticing to reach middle, but you also have to kill the person awaiting you. Okay, shut up. No one likes you. You're the worst king ever. Everybody hates you. Stop making stupid rules. I thought the whole thing was like, you're not supposed to kill people in the trials, but it happens. Okay, well now what? Now we're just condoning murder? Oh my gosh, I hate him so much. Because the person waiting there has committed crimes. Okay, hold on. It's prediction time. So the king said the person there is deserving of this punishment. They have committed crimes against the kingdom and will pay for them with their life. So I'm assuming that somehow the king knows about either Peyton doesn't have powers. He's gonna be like, well, her father was part of the resistance, so she is, or he knows that she actually is a part of the resistance now. Whatever it is, she's gonna be the one waiting, and the king, or the prince, Kai, is gonna have to kill her. And Kai's gonna find out that she doesn't have power. Like, I'm assuming at the end of this book, Kai has to find out she doesn't have powers, but I just don't know how it's gonna go, and I'm really nervous. Okay, all right, I'm probably not gonna check in unless something absolutely crazy happens. So I'll probably just see you at the end of the book. I finished her. Oh my gosh. Screaming, crying, throwing up is all I need to say. I actually didn't physically cry, like I said in the non-spoiler section, but like the vibes of crying were there. Like I was like pouting. I just didn't have tears coming because I wasn't in that mood. But I was not expecting anything of that to happen at the end. You guys heard my prediction. I was wrong. Adina died. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The found family female friendship, one of my favorite things in books, gone, done, dead. Why? I don't know. Everybody that Peyton loves has died thanks to the king. Her father, Adina, that's pretty much it, but they all died because of the king. And then the plot twist that it was actually Kai who killed her father is insane. I want to like reread it because there's parts where he talks about his first kill and how it really affected him, and I don't know if he hinted towards it being her father or not, so I wanted to go back and find those parts. I haven't yet, but oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. And then the fact that she actually kills the king, I will say it felt a little bit like a stretch, because he's a brawny, is that what they're called? Yeah. And so he should be able to overpower her like in any point, and I feel like it doesn't really make sense, as talented as she is at fighting, that she'd just be able to kill the king that easily. Like, it felt a little too easy, you know? Also, for some reason, I kept expecting there to be a plot twist that she actually does have magic she doesn't know about. I don't know why, I was just hoping that would be a thing. But I love that she stayed an ordinary, honestly. And then the fact that the king carved out the O above her heart, oh. And then Kai walks up and sees his father dead at her hands. So here's my thoughts. A, I love that he's like, I don't have the strength or the courage yet to kill you. And then when he finds her at the end, he still doesn't have the strength to kill her. That's good. Oh wait, was that in the next book? Or did I make that up? I think it's in the next book, because I read the chapter that's like, oh, chapter 1 of the next book. I think it was that. Anyway, Kit becomes ruthless, heartless, just like his father was. Hopefully he can grow out of that. I'm a little bit frustrated because Kai and Kit both are not seeing Peyton's point of view. They're not giving her the opportunity to show her point of view, and they're not being empathetic with her at all. I understand that she killed their father, but they also both know that their father is like an evil king, that he just like kills relentlessly. They haven't quite sympathized with the ordinaries or with why the rebels were revolting, what do they call it? Resisting, the resistance. They haven't sympathized with the resistance yet, and I just wish that, okay, so at the end Kit says, Kai, as my enforcer, like, bring me Peyton. So I'm hoping in book 2 that there's maybe like a trial, or they actually talk to her and understand her point of view and then sympathize with the resistance, but I also don't really see that happening. I just feel like at the very end, everything happened so fast and they didn't have time to talk, and this is something so frustrating for me in every single book, movie, TV show, whatever. If people would just talk to each other, things would be a lot better. Because does Kai know that he killed her father? Let's talk about it for a moment. So we find out that Kai killed Peyton's father. That is wild, first of all. Second of all, when it talks about, so if you read the chapter that's like, oh, 5 years ago from Kai's point of view, his first kill, and it's her father. He should have known about the dagger, and that if he truly remembers his first kill, it's so imprinted on him, he should know about the dagger that Peyton's been carrying around this whole time, and even Peyton pointed that out, like, he has the dagger, he should know. Second, is that it points out that Kai saw the silver wedding band on the man's hand that he killed. And then he sees that same wedding band that Peyton is wearing all this time. So I'm struggling to believe that he doesn't know that it was Peyton's father. I feel like Kai has to know. Okay, alternatively, Kai doesn't know because silver wedding bands are probably not that hard to come by. He doesn't know that she's an ordinary. He doesn't know that her father was a part of the resistance and she was a part of the resistance. But I feel like he should have at least been putting it all together at the end. I don't know. I'm just frustrated all around. I think we definitely need book 2 to clear up a lot of things. And I hate how people can go from absolutely loving each other and he still doesn't have the courage to kill her, but like to just hate. And I wish they would just talk about it for like 5 seconds. Obviously, he's traumatized because she just killed his father, the king, but at the same time, like, he killed her father. So I feel like it like equals out, they can move on. I want them to be together so bad. But at the same time, they'll probably never be able to forgive each other because I wouldn't forgive that. I don't know. I just have so many thoughts and I don't want this video to go on forever, so we'll move on from that. Was there something else she could have done? Yes, I agree she needs to be a part of the resistance, help the resistance. She is an ordinary, but she has a foot in with both the princes. I feel like long game would have been better here instead of the resistance coming into the bowl. I feel like a long game strategy of her trying to like become queen or marry one of the princes, either one, and then be like, by the way, I'm an ordinary. I don't know. I feel like there could have been another path taken. Maybe she could have been, I was really hoping that Kai would find out she's an ordinary before all the resistance crazy stuff would happen. But that's not how a fun book works. You gotta have the drama and the crazy. So yeah, anyway, I cannot wait for Reckless to come out. So stay tuned for me reading Reckless as soon as it comes out. This is going to be my first experience ever having a new release come out, and I actually am a part of that community and hopping in with the new release. That is now my most anticipated release of the year. And we'll just go ahead and leave my review there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like watching videos where I do vlogs and then have spoilers at the very end, you can go watch my part 1 of Throne of Glass, and I'll be doing that with pretty much every book I read. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!